Stupendous! When Ferrari bestowed the name LaFerrari on this car, everyone knew that it was going to be something special performance-wise, and even the most seasoned supercar owner couldn't begin to imagine the performance on offer from this hypercar. We'll start with the numbers, because who doesn't like a good performance figure? 0 to 60 is obliterated in 2.9 seconds to 0.3 seconds off the Porsche 918. The LaFerrari will match the Porsche's quarter-mile time, which is consistently in the 9.8-second range, before going on to a top speed of more than 217 miles per hour. Driver Raffaele de Simone managed to lap Ferrari's Fiorano circuit in only 1 minute and 19.70 seconds. With a combined power output of 950 horsepower, the LaFerrari sports a pound-per-horsepower ratio of 3.7, besting the 918's 4.2. Despite being rear-wheel drive, Ferrari's advanced traction control systems get the LaFerrari off the line in brutish fashion, and it will lay down its power with ruthless efficiency unless you want to break the rear out, which is done with a degree of extra throttle and the appropriate steering input. Driving the LaFerrari on public roads isn't as daunting as you'd think, but things can get hairy if extreme caution isn't used. The LaFerrari demands respect and focus every time you get behind the wheel. At the heart of the LaFerrari lies a longitudinally rear mid-mounted 6.3-liter V12, which produces 789 horsepower at 9,000 RPM. And 516 pound-foot of torque at 6,750 RPM, and features goodies such as F1, derived variable intakes, an adaptive oil pump, which measures G-forces, and a compression ratio of 13.5 to 1. Forget anything you thought you knew about supercar engines. The naturally aspirated V12 in the LaFerrari shrugs at the offer of forced induction, and is a better car for it. In the hypercar race for superiority, some might consider the absence of a turbocharger or two a disadvantage, but the power delivery of this V12 is manic, and pushing it to its 9,250 RPM limit can only be described as a spiritual experience. To assist the LaFerrari's low-down torque delivery, Ferrari has incorporated its first hybrid electric system ever, and in true Ferrari fashion, this system offers no eco mode and delivers maximum power all of the time. Ferrari calls its hybrid system KERS, or Kinetic Energy Recovery System, and, when activated, boosts power outputs to a ridiculous 950 horsepower and 664 pound-foot of torque. Whereas the McLaren P1 offers an all-electric mode with a range of up to 12 miles. Ferrari forces its poor buyers to make use of the V12 and hybrid system on a permanent basis. This partnership between old-school displacement and modern gadgetry results in a relentless, unending rush of forward momentum and corner exit acceleration that will make you spew your complimentary Ferrari breakfast faster than you can think about not trying to spew inside a LaFerrari. A 7-speed dual-clutch transmission is tasked with managing all that power, and it delivers telepathic shifts on track. The LaFerrari is a full-blown race car, its powertrain and engine are connected to a carbon fiber tub, and the suspension setup features carbon fiber wishbones in the front and electronically controlled dampers. Bringing this prancing horse to a stop is a set of massive carbon ceramic brakes measuring 15.7 inches in the front, and 14.96 inches at the rear. These tricks are supported by an active aero system to provide tons of downforce. You get close to 800 pounds of force at 124 miles per hour when cornering, and at least 200 pounds when traveling in a straight line. Driving the LaFerrari at full tilt can be compared to piloting a race-prepped GT3 Le Mans car, only you go faster in a straight line. The combination of that stiff carbon fiber tub, F1, inspired suspension setup, and 19-inch 265 30 front and 20-inch 345/30 rear tires deliver spine-bending grip and responsiveness. The LaFerrari can be pointed with superb precision, and aided by that active aero system makes it feel predictable at the edge. But the pure speed at which this car can travel demands that the driver stays alert at all times. We'll say this one more time, it's a race car, pure and simple. This section is completely irrelevant, to be honest. The LaFerrari and its main rivals, the Porsche 918 and McLaren P1, are all built with one main purpose: to go as fast as possible with no regard for economy. And, if you ever have the privilege of owning one of these cars, you'll surely be able to afford a Prius to get you around when you're not driving your hypercar. Surprisingly, the EPA has an official gas mileage figure for the LaFerrari. You'll get the 16th of December 14 miles per gallon city or highway air combined. The McLaren P1 makes the Ferrari look like a gas guzzler with a combined figure of 18 mpge when assisted by the hybrid system, or 17 miles per gallon when powered by gas only. With performance levels in the stratosphere and such a high focus placed on weight savings and efficiency, the interior of the LaFerrari is a surprisingly comfortable and refined space to sit in. The first thing you'll notice is the F1 themed styling, which runs through the exterior and makes its way into the cabin. The centerpiece has to be the squared-off steering wheel, which closely resembles the ones found in F1 cars. Keeping with the theme of ultimate efficiency and performance, the driver's seat has been fixed in place so as not to disturb the fine balance of the car, but the steering wheel and pedals can be adjusted. Behind the steering wheel sits a large tachometer, and not much else. All non-essentials have been moved to the center console. As for interior features, you get a dual-zone climate control system that provides heating and cooling, an anti-glare rear-view mirror, a digital clock, as well as a security system with an immobilizer. Ferrari doesn't provide official interior dimensions, but most average-sized adults will find the cabin of the LaFerrari to be a snug fit. There's enough legroom for persons up to 6 feet tall, but the low roofline can cause trouble for taller drivers. The seats are fused with the carbon tub of the LaFerrari, and due to their limited numbers, Ferrari will sculpt each individual driver's seat to match its owner's profile. Sitting in the used LaFerrari you just bought off of that 230-pound Russian oil baron might not be as comfy as you'd like. The LaFerrari's interior features all the usual suspects you'd find in supercars. You get leather seats, Alcantara on the steering wheel, and a massive dose of carbon fiber. After all, most of the components feature the sturdy material in one shape or another. A massive carbon fiber spine running through the middle of the cabin separates the two seats. The self-titled Ferrari's interior is beautifully finished, and all materials feel like $1 million. Ferrari announced in mid-2015 that they would recall certain LaFerrari models produced between 2014 and 2015 for a number of issues. Issues ranged from headrests that failed to meet certain safety standards, a tire pressure monitoring system that would give faulty readings, not what you want when doing over 200 miles per hour, and finally, a faulty driver's side airbag that could do more harm than good when deployed. Ferrari covers the LaFerrari with the same basic 3-year warranty and 7-year maintenance warranty as the rest of its range. Seeing as only 499 of these vehicles have been built, you can bet that Ferrari will pay extra close attention to the maintenance of these prized stallions. No automotive safety rating agency would dare destroy the Ferrari, so you won't find any official ratings for the LaFerrari on the internet. What you can be assured of is that Ferrari has made good use of its decades' worth of design and safety knowledge when it designed and built the LaFerrari. And while it might not feature modern active driver assistance features like pedestrian detection, adaptive cruise control or forward collision avoidance assistance, it makes up for it with old-school measures such as massive brakes, a good traction control system, and the fact that you won't want to have a conversation with your insurance after sliding one into a sidewalk.